Yo, you already know who it is. The Kid Hustle Man Fats back here for Hustlers Only. I got a special guest with me, man. Who I got with me today?
Hey, man, live from the front porch, Noochie.
Yeah, Sirski. Listen, man, Noochie, you one of the guys that, artists always say, man, I'm working. I be here, you know what I'm saying, checking me out, check my music out. You one guy say, I see everywhere. I see Broccoli City, backstage at concerts. I see you at label events. You one of the people who you don't really have to say, man, come check me out. It's like, you see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that like the goal when you going out? Like, man, I gotta be at this
sure.
event.
I mean, it's just a lot of people to filter through. There's a lot of people asking people to do stuff for them. There's a lot of people trying to be heard or trying to do this, but it's like you just gotta go. You gotta separate yourself. You gotta be seen. You gotta be heard. They gotta know where you from. They gotta know where you at. You know what I'm saying? If you want to move further. So I just feel like I made sure it wasn't really a question about who this person is. Like that's been always my goal.
I feel like a lot of people they skip that part. You know what I'm saying? They put a record out and then like got this record, but then they don't go outside to the club to meet the DJ. They don't go outside to Broccoli Fest to meet the people who put on Broccoli Fest. They don't go out to the label events that's in your city at Park because you don't know how to dress up and go in the spot.
When I first started, not even going out for I used to go to the club and go straight to the DJ booth every spot I'm going to. Probably had 2 girls with me going to the club, and one of them to be with me and one of them to, if DJ want some, you know what I'm saying, just, I don't know, like no pimp shit or nothing like that, but just like, just ambiance, you know what I'm saying, just like comfortable. Like I'm not even coming to ask you to play no song. Like I'm just here, what you drinking on, introduce myself. Even if I know him or don't know him, I just say what's up. And now you ain't got nothing but good things to say next time you see this dude. And now he got a record out. I was like, oh, that dude, this junk tight too? Like, that ain't really no discrepancy. It shouldn't be no issue. You should just, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I tell artists all the time, give twice, ask third time. When you see a person, man, you know what I'm saying, what you drinking on, you good? Bet next time what you drinking on, you good? Bet now it's like, man, look, I'm a rapper. Because nigga like, man, who the fuck this nigga keep coming up here?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's building a rapport, bro. Nobody in the profession wants a person just to rush them and just try to, stuff things down, no homo, pause. You know what I'm saying? Put things in their face, pause, if applicable. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of artists don't get that, bro. They just expect, okay, I got this record. It got 20,000 views on Instagram. The DJ automatically plays. I feel like you have shown artists, but they don't get it that it's not dick riding or it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's really just building because now, I might play Noochie record in the club, even though it's not a club record because of the respect I got from Noochie.
For sure. There's been plenty of times I done walked in the club. I'm like, why is he playing this song? Like, this ain't even no club song. I'm like, and then I don't even really be making music for the club, but it was just like the environment that I grew up in. It's like I grew up kind of in the club and in between trap music and stuff like that. So it was like, that's kind of where I came up at, but that ain't necessarily my main influence. I mean, my only influence. Like, I'm inspired by everything great. So it's like, that's kind of my goal, is just to make great music. Ain't necessarily for the club or for this. I want to make music for when you by yourself and listening to it.
You know, a lot of artists, man, I didn't even mean to go down this street right here. A lot of artists don't understand their demographic. If you ask an artist right now, they can have 100,000 views on Instagram, 100,000 views on YouTube. Where you want your music to be heard? Their response, everywhere. And I be having to sit down artists who I'm cool with in the city. Bro, Beyonce not heard everywhere, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, she is one of the biggest artists in the world, but her records aren't played everywhere. Where do you want your songs to be played? Your record can't be, it's a trap record, but I want to be in a strip club. It may not work. It may work. There's some trap records that work in the strip club, but not all trap records work in the strip club. You might got a club banger where you can go to a Rose Bar, 1:30, and it's a good song. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then a lot of people don't understand that some songs not for the club. Some songs need to be placements.
Did you think Afrobeat music would be some of the biggest songs in the club?
Nah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never know what is going to be the record. Like, they don't even know. The people that made the record don't even know half the time. It's just the people choose, the music choose. And I guess, like, as you coming up, you could kind of, as you making it, you kind of identify what your demographic is. You can't necessarily come out and say, I mean, you can, because if you want to make music for children,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you know what to do. You know what tunes to play and stuff like that. But if you want to make ratchet music, you know what you're doing. But as far as like if you just creating, you know what I'm saying, without no direction originally, just because you're an artist and just creating, you have to find that out along the way. It's a lot of stuff you got to find out along the way as an artist. There ain't really no time to do it, but you got to figure it out, kind of.
And I'm happy that you putting that message out because a lot of people just don't get it, bro.
Nah, I mean, a lot of times there's a lot of artist bashing too. So I'm pro artist all the time. So
what you mean by artist bashing?
Like, it's just like what artists don't do, what artists fucking up at, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. It ain't never really the way the game is given. Sometimes ain't necessarily in a helpful manner. Sometimes it's more something like, niggas don't know what they doing, like as opposed to trying to tell, man, oh, this is what you do, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really reciprocated sometimes. And I understand that some artists are assholes. Some people don't listen, and it's like that. But as a executive or somebody in position, the same way like an NFL scout would be in charge of making sure we draft the right players that's right for the future, so we don't have to trade the players, that you're in charge in some type of executive or A&R or whatever to make sure that you're picking the right artist for the future and not for the moment at the same time. So there's a lot of layers to it outside of just telling what the artists don't do, because the artists don't really got a voice outside of being a complaining, crying ass artist when they talking about it.
Listen, I want to get right into it. Is the artist not listening to the message because of how it's being delivered? Regardless, the message could be delivered inappropriately, wrong. That person who delivered the message could be the wrong person who's supposed to be delivering the message. But is the message still the message as an artist?
I mean, I most of the time I agree with the message. I'm an artist that listens, so that's why I feel
a lot of artists don't listen.
I feel right in even speaking on this just as somebody who don't fit the mold that y'all be talking about. Like I've been in contact with a bunch of Grammy winning producers that have gave me different game. You know what I'm saying? And I've been able to see like, okay, at the end of the day, he got this. He didn't excelled in the position that I'm trying to achieve in, so I have to listen because he knows something I don't know.
Yeah,
he's older. He's older than me. He survived longer on Earth than me already, so he definitely knows something I don't know. So I look at it like that. I don't really just look at it like I know everything. There's no way I know everything. He don't know everything. I don't think he know everything, so I know I don't know everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at it like, I never looked at it like I'm just not listening to nobody. I do feel like as an artist, when you get in a certain position, a certain limelight, you got a lot of people coming at you saying a bunch of different opinions. So it's up to you to filter those opinions because you got in this spotlight or wherever you at because of, yeah, exactly you. So when you get there, don't just let all these people who don't know the 10 years that you done put in before this, or, you know what I'm saying, the people you done lost along the way, the shit you done went through to even get here. So it's like you can't forget that and just moving forward just because now you done reached the level of people that weren't paying attention at first. So I just feel like you gotta, it's a tough job, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Shit ain't everybody ain't cut out for it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a professional sport. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't make it to the pros.
100%. Now let's talk about Noochie growing up, you know, free movie.
For sure.
As a kid growing up, did you ever feel pressured to kind of be like in the streets?
Nah, I didn't. Just because it's kind of like when you around some shit or in some shit, you ain't really thinking about it like that. It's just what it is. So I never really felt pressure, nor was I ever actually pressured to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of the opposite. So, and I never felt like that.
Now, Noochie, bro, you've been everywhere, bro. You've been on tour. You've been away from the city. What is it going to take for artists to understand, like, once you leave the area, you no longer represent your hood. You know what I'm saying? You represent D.C. You represent the DMV. A lot of people, you know, we hold on to that strong. From where we come from, bro, D.C. is just like a place where a lot of people try to pull from us from surrounding areas.
Mm-hmm.
But when we leave this motherfucker and we go to Arizona, bro, people know Washington, D.C. for the nation's capital, but when they hear DMV, they kind of, all right, I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it going to take for artists to kind of understand that it's bigger than just your neighborhood, your block, D.C., it's the entire area?
I mean, first of all, you got to go experience it. A lot of people die where they from. You know what I'm saying? Die where they was born at. So a lot of times you ain't really get to experience it. So I feel like that's a part of it. You got to be exposed to outside of here. And if you only know here, that's, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no further you could go.
Yeah.
I feel like you just got to be exposed. I don't know the answer to getting people exposed all the way besides traveling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, niggas got money to spend on dumb shit. You just buy a ticket, plane ticket to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But niggas don't be want to go nowhere sometimes. It's just, we kind of conditioned to be, you know what I'm saying, that way a little bit.
Why you feel we conditioned to be that way?
I mean, it's a lot of stuff in position to why we conditioned to be where we at right now, but that's like a whole different interview.
I think that artists see the numbers on their Instagram, the YouTube, and they feel like these other places should come get me. Arizona should call me for a show. But they don't understand. You go look at your demographics on the YouTube app, on the studio app. Yo, nobody don't know you in Arizona, bro. You known in 10 states, but Arizona might not be one of them states. You might need to go out there and perform at an open bar, go spend a weekend out there with a show to go perform at an open bar. Nobody don't know you out there, and get that exposure for your music and your YouTube.
For sure. I mean, I agree with you. Like I said, I'm one of them artists that listen, so I'm not, I literally look at my demographics. Like, I thought you was going to ask me, what's my demographic earlier?
No.
Like, I know what mine is.
I was going to say, you sound like one of the, what's your demographic?
It's black women.
Okay.
Right now. That's my demographic.
Yeah.
And that was the goal, too. You know what I'm saying?
Women are one of the biggest consumers of
I mean,
music.
not even like that. It's just like, I just been around like real good women. It's like, that's instilled a lot in me. So it's like, you feed back into that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just communal.
But it's smart, though, because women are one of the biggest consumers of music, because when we go look at these videos, who we go see? These women in the background of these videos. The music is there, but conditionally we're trained to see these big booty women in the background of the videos. You know what I'm saying? When we go to the club, we want to hear a record. If the woman is dancing to it, we in the club with the woman. You get what I'm saying? We popping bottles with the woman. So for you to say woman is your demographic, even though you probably ain't look at it that way, women are leading the charge
for sure.
With music.
I just look at it like I go with my heart first sometimes before I go with my analytical, my brain, and then I just check the stats after I do that.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Now, you ain't got the oil chain on today, man.
Oh yeah, man, I was moving too fast.
I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was waiting for it. It's like a staple. Like once you see the oil chain, I know that's Noochie. Know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from a mile away, that's the oil chain, that's Noochie. Mm-hmm. What does oil mean to you?
Oh man, it's the foundation I stand on. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And ain't no me without oil. Ain't no a lot of stuff without that. Yeah. Just because there was such a staple in early hip hop or early rap in the DMV and DC. It was just DC at that time. It wasn't no DMV yet.
Yeah.
But they kind of like opened doors that I never seen people, you know what I'm saying, do. Pretty much my father, Free Booby, first and foremost, he started probably like 2000, probably like 2001. They put the 2001, 2002, they put the One Way Up project out. But it was Booby and the Young Farmers at that point, and it was One Way Records. Exactly. So it wasn't even oil yet. It was One Way Records, but then the group One Way that made Cutie Pie, Cutie Pie,
yep,
that jump, they had One Way already, so they had to take the first letter and the last letter of One Way and make oil. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that come from, and then they associated it with Bury Farms because all the Young Farmers is from Bury Farms. So Booby and the Young Farmers turned into the Oil Boys, and they pretty much, man, that was the rest of that, and I was throughout that whole period, I was at the studio. All that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And dealing with whatever, not dealing with what they dealing with, but just like around it. Cause my father, the one had the studio. So it's pretty much the nucleus. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, this is where everybody at. But it's his headquarters. So his kids gonna be there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And you started off as an engineer kind of.
For sure. Yeah. I was engineering back. I mean, I was rapping before I was engineering, but once I realized that we gonna need an engineer.
Yeah.
And our engineer went down to Atlanta. I ended up going to Falls Church out of Virginia and going to Q and getting doing an engineering program and learning how to engineer. So I was recording like everybody at the studio.
Yep.
Then I was charging people for sessions. Then I'd be doing my own stuff. So I was like getting real like hands on with all the music. So like I'm just audio, like I just give a fuck about it a lot.
Now, you know what I'm saying? I've heard things. did you really engineer for like some of the top artists in the city? Shaq Lizzy's, the light shows?
Oh no, I've been in the studio with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I was actually in the studio, like Shy was in the studio when I was in high school, like he was on his come up. So like I'm literally firsthand in the studio coming in, learning, recording everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't recording Shy stuff, but I was in there while him and Ant was in there. This when they was, you know what I'm saying, best friends at the time. Okay. So, but it was like, nah, for real. But even that was tight to see, just to see, you know what I'm saying, some niggas locked in and trying to do something. A man supporting his man and all that shit. Like it was, you able to see how even both of them, not fucking with each other now, but able to, you know what I'm saying, rise in some form. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let's take it back to the music all the way, man. Overall, do you think music has been lost? Because I feel like you're one of them people who your goal is to make timeless music. And I think everybody now is trying to make the TikToks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Do you think the overall, like, essence of music is lost?
No, I don't think that's lost at all because I go to a lot of shows. I make it my business to go find good music. Like, that's my goal. So I feel like if that was somebody else's goal, then it'll be, you know what I'm saying, the whole world to see it. But I feel like their goal is what you just spoke on as far as
the TikTok.
The quick flip, the quick, you know what I'm saying, analytics, the views, the clicks. It ain't really it ain't about music, ain't got shit to do with the internet. You don't need the internet to make no music. So you shouldn't even think about the internet when you making music.
Man, shout out to my brother Flo, man. He tell me this all the time. A lot of artists come up to both of us and say, you know, stuff about music. We got music. And then, you know, first thing they say is, you know, I'm on Instagram or YouTube. And one thing he always says, man, like the internet is clouded, bro. Like, it's so many people on the internet. The streets is wide open. Mm-hmm. Nobody understands that you can promote your music without being on Instagram.
100%. Like, bro, get some posters. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? People outside walking. Like, everywhere getting gentrified. There's a bunch of new people walking around. They look up and read shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Put a poster up. There's a lot of ground to cover that people just think the internet is supposed to do. It's like, you got to touch the people. Like, I feel like that's my whole thing. Is like just making sure the people is in tune with me. I'm in tune with the people. I want the people to understand that you got somebody that represents y'all at the end of the day.
100%. Now, doubling back to our conversation earlier, do you feel or is there a necessity to leave your city to be successful? Like, move out of your city?
Nah, you don't got to move out the city, but you got to move around.
I'm going to cross my arms,
You don't got to move, because what city are you talking about? All of them?
Any city that an artist comes up in, I feel like you have to leave that city. Because, like Boosie said, most artists die in their own city. Most artists' downfall is in their own city. Because if you're an artist that grew up, let's speak on our city, D.C., we got cousins all the way around the city. If you're from Northwest, you got a cousin over South. If you're from Northwest, you got a cousin down the West. Those type of distractions, oh, you bubbling now, man, let me go to a show with you. You don't know what his intentions is. You don't know who he beefing with. You don't know what he got going on. So now you kind of like putting an image on you because of who you hanging with.
Man, that go back to this tough job that I told you about where you got to filter shit out. And like I was saying, I ain't saying that you could do it staying in one spot, but I'm saying you got to move around. You don't have to move like where you live at, but I'm saying you have to go to Atlanta and do some time. You have to go to LA, meet some people. You can't tell nobody where you from if you always there. You got to go show motherfucker, hey, I'm from DC, this is what we got to offer, and then go back home, make some buzz. And then when they come to DC, now they looking for you because now you done went out and made a name for yourself. So it's like, it's really just about building connections and bringing it back. Because I'm looking at it like, all right, I've been doing this shit for a long time. And I've been in Atlanta, I've been in LA, I've been in New York, I've been in Texas, like all type of shit. But I feel like every time I'm going to these other cities and it feel like, damn, we on the brink of something, it's like I get pushed back to this motherfucker somehow. And never even like in no negative way. Yeah. It was just always just like, just having the shit laid out, I ended up back here. So I'm like, all right, I got to do it here. I got to figure out how I got to do it here. That was my goal. Just to like, all right, I get it. I done got all this game from all these different people. How you going to use it? You know what I'm saying? How can you get back in that position? How can you make them identify that what you got going on over here is just as big as over there? Yeah. I just need y'all to pay attention. So that's pretty much my goal, is to build up something that you can't ignore. So it's like, Ain't no me begging you to play my shit. Ain't no me hoping you see me, none of that. You gonna scroll and you gonna have no choice. You gonna go outside, you gonna have no choice. That's my, you know what I'm saying? That's my goal. I ain't really in it trying to ask somebody to do shit no more.
So you don't think that an artist or anybody successful in general, not even just music, you don't have to move out your city to be successful?
You need to move to get experience, but you could come back.
Okay.
You don't have to.
So move for a period of time, not
you just have to,
forever.
Even if you're not moving for a period of time, like, it don't have to be consecutive, but like, take trips, random little trips to go, you know what I'm saying, go experience some shit, like, go to the other city. Is an event going on? Don't go buy tickets to the show out here. Go to tickets to the show in New York. Go to that show. You know what I'm saying? Just to experience some other shit and just run into people and, you know what I'm saying, go out in another city. Go to the club in another city. Go see what some shit like. I'm saying, like, you gotta move around like that. I don't think you got to live in another city, because it's like, I look at a nigga like Kendrick or like Drake or like J. Cole, like, I feel like they have, when you think of Toronto, you think of Drake, you think of Compton, you think of Cali, you think Kendrick, you think of North Carolina, or just even this whole you think of J. Cole, even like just the type of music that they do, but also like where they from. It's like they the champion their area. It's like, and even in their music, you listen to it, you know J. Cole done lived in New York before. You know that Drake done lived in Houston or Memphis and shit like that. But it's like at the end of the day, they take that shit back to where they from. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's how you got to do it.
I get what you're saying. I was on the fence at first. I was more borderline, leave, bro. Leave and come back and visit. Make this your visit versus making someone else your visit. Just because I just know there's so many distractions, family members, things that you did growing up. People can't look at you different from where you are now than when you came up.
Which city ain't got no distractions?
Every city got distractions.
So you know what I'm saying? But it's really just up to you to filter it out.
When your hometown, you gotta be real here. Your hometown's distractions are a little bit more detrimental than, if I'm in Houston, I know I'm going to the club in Houston, I'm going back to my crib. I ain't about to chill on nobody's block. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you in DC, it's like, shit, I'm gonna go to Roosevelt and I'm about to chill with my niggas. Like, I'm about to.
That's a filter, though. That's a filter. And then
come through here and.
That's a former where I used to move, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to the spots no more like that. I'm going to where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, as you level up, you have to understand your position. You know what I'm saying? When they say talking about bridging the gap or closing the gap or something, I seen Snoop talking about closing the gap.
Yeah.
It's like as you get further, the people that's, you know what I'm saying, you've been trying to keep up with you, either they got to come up or you got to go back.
Right down, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you close the gap. So this can't happen. So that's where, like, you filter it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Now let's talk, man, about Front Porch, man.
For sure.
The Front Porch, man, is going crazy right now. It's going crazy right now, and when we was talking off camera, I remember when Kyle on the mic kind of told me to watch out for the Front Porch. I don't know if you had told him early on or y'all may have had a conversation about it. And I was like, I'm going to watch out for it because I seen you everywhere, bro. I just be like, man, I know who Noochie is. You know what I'm saying? I know a few records, but I didn't know you as, like, an artist. You get what I'm saying? So I just be like, I'm going to check it out. You know what I mean? Like, I think we exchanged numbers. And from 2020 to where we are now, bro, insane. The growth is insane, bro. You done had artists on there, Kenny Lattimore, Legends in the City, New Impressions, Raheem DeVaughn, Miss Kim, Backyard. Tell me about the vision, man. Everybody wants to know what was the vision.
Man, I just wanted to get originally it just started with me doing freestyles on the porch, like my phone, just doing this because I was in the process of getting out of the deal and I wanted to make sure that I was still feeding something without just not putting nothing out because I'm trying to figure shit out. Yeah. So I was just doing this. I was like, let me put some industry beats on, just rap my ass off, show people I could do something that everybody can't do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So after a couple of years of doing that, I was like, man, I got to turn this up because people asking for it, but I need to figure out how to package it better. Let me figure that out because I'm like, if I was doing this weekly, like people would love, like it's like a show at that point.
Exactly.
So once my man Tyler hit me up and was like, he wanted to help with the production, I was like, all right, bet, come on. And then we shot it with actual cameras instead of,
phone.
Yeah, and then we actually had it mic'd up instead of just the phone mic. So it was like, all right, cool. I then eliminated the phone throughout the whole process, and now we got professional who work with it. And I told you I'm audio engineer, so I'm mixing the audio, just making it sound like songs. So it's looking like you looking at a camera, but like it sound like real song because I know, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting them plugins on, I'm making it sound right.
Okay.
But, and then after that, I always wanted Backyard to actually just perform for me, like at one of my birthdays or something. That was always something I just wanted. But like once I had made this up and I was like, I started bringing bands on to do my original songs because I was like, man, I can't do, this type of freestyle every week. Like this, like these Johns, like I'm putting my heart and soul to these Johns. So I'm like, man, you need to go back and listen to that John again. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, in between, I got a lot of good songs that people ain't even heard yet. So I'm like, let me repackage that since people paying attention now. Let me put them with the band on there just to show the live music aspect of it because we come from DC. It's built on go-go. So it's not even necessarily just a lot of go-go ain't even original songs. So that mean that we like the live music. We like that percussion. We like the, you know what I'm saying, them horns, the drums, the basses, the guitar. We like all that, the keys. So it's like, let me give you that too just to show you, you know what I'm saying, what we do. Yeah. And then once I got Backyard to do it because they seen the live jump, I hit G. I was like, man, I need you to do this jump. And he was like, man, when's coming, man? So they came and then the rest was like, all right, cool. Damn, I could do this with a lot of people. Like, damn. So it kind of was like a natural build of like just it happening. So that's why I always look at it like, this wasn't like, I wasn't fishing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Natural. I just wanted to get my shit off. that was it. That was, you know what I'm saying? And now it's then grown into something that I feel super proud of and like super protective of too. Cause I'm like, okay, this came from like a desire of me wanting to be seen and heard because they weren't paying attention, they weren't listening, and it was just I just had to get my shit off. So now I'm looking at it like, all right, I'm in a position where I can pretty much curate some tight ass live performances from some great artists with some of the best musicians that DC got to offer, or even musicians that they bring or anybody. But I just feel like it's something similar to Tiny Desk, Rap City, 106 in Park, Tonight Show. Like all them things are things that inspired me to do it, or like stuff that I wanted to take from just to make sure that the platform dope.
Now you got some legends on there: Kenny Lattimore, Raheem Devon, Miss Kim. How are they reaching out to Noochie, or is Noochie reaching out to them? Well, a little bit of both.
I mean, I'm about to say I've been doing this for a long time and fortunate enough to have great relationships already. Okay. So, like I said, some people just a phone call away. Raheem been around since I was super young. Miss Kim been, that's family right there. Like, for real. Yeah. Backyard, I've been around since I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of them people already seen me grow up in the music industry and actually become somebody that, you know what I'm saying, you should get back to musically because it's like you can see how much I care about it. Right. So if you coming over here messing with me, it's like you only getting, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to care about your shit just as much as I care about my shit.
Now, I want to ask, man, because I be watching these Jones. Mm-hmm. That's a real crib. That's like somebody really live there.
It's a house.
Like somebody lives there though.
You could if you wanted to.
The only reason I'm asking that is because you had these live performances outside. Mm-hmm. Is the neighbors ever been like, "Yo, Noochie, what the hell are you doing over here?"
Nah, do you not like the songs?
No. I'm saying that I like the songs. I don't know the neighborhood in which the house is in. It could be a neighbor that moved there 5 years ago. You know, DC is gentrifying day by day. It could be a neighbor that moved there 5 years ago that you don't know.
For sure.
Has anybody ever said what the hell was going on?
Nah, nobody's complained at all.
Okay.
I have not got one complaint from no neighbor. I actually got DMs from people that live over there. Okay. That are fans of it. So.
Do they come out?
Nah, not for real. Don't nobody like they might poke out like their house or something, but don't nobody really like come out there. Like they enjoy it though. They definitely like it.
And let's be clear, man. The numbers on YouTube are there, and numbers on Instagram as well. Kenny Lattimore 43,000 new impressions, 49. Raheem 71. Miss Kim 135. Backyard 268. And then on Instagram was almost millions.
Nah, it's definitely millions. It shares, and they get like shade room posts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even, you know, people pay for that. They just reached out. They just like it. They fans of it.
What was your response? Or what was you going through when you first seen it like on Shade Room, and then you see people like Snoop Dogg? How was that for you?
It just let me know that, man, go with your gut, bro. Yeah. I'm like, at the end of the day, I done heard a lot of stuff in my ear about you know what I'm saying, what you should be doing as an artist or what you should be, doing as a person sometimes. But I feel like I didn't stay true to what I wanted and just what I do it for, and just my love for the music at the end of the day, my love for the culture, my love for just black shit. Like, I feel like if it wasn't embraced by them, I'd feel some type of way, to be honest. Like, I feel like this is the shit that our culture supposed to like, right? That's my whole goal with it. So I feel like you know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people love the front porch, bro. It's because it reminds a lot of people of their childhood of just chilling on the porch, listening to music. Whether that was your mom playing music, whether that was the dope boy playing music out of his car. It reminds you of something when you were a child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, bro, like this, like the culture right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's raw. You know what I'm saying? It's mixed how it's supposed to sound, but it's just raw.
Yeah, that's it. All we need is to sound good. We can go in any environment, but they just need it to sound right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They need the right people there and a good sound. I don't care if ain't no chairs. They figure it out.
Man, that shit, I love it, bro. I love everything about it.
I love it too. I'm just as much of a fan of it as I am like the creator.
I love seeing you in the background, bro.
That was my thing. I want to be up here for everybody that can't. Like, let me be up here just enjoying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody in the comments want tickets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ain't no tickets. This is a studio production.
Would you ever do a show kind of like Lil Russell does out in the Bay? You know, he actually sells, that's his real house, that he does a show at in the backyard of his house. And he says the tickets don't have an amount. You pay what you think this performance is worth.
Yeah, see, then that's when I think the neighbors have an issue at that point when I'm bringing hundreds of people over there. Yeah. It's going to be different. I'd rather, you know what I'm saying, find a good venue for that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Get some good lighting, some in-house lighting, some good house sound. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere I ain't in charge of the whole production at that point. But I definitely, I actually got a show November 7th. This is the first time I'm doing a live version of the Porch, actually at another place, 12 Stories in D.C., new venue at the Wharf, like a nice rooftop jump. So.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm going to be there. November 7th, put it on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, that junk going to be cool.
I'm going to be there.
Might have some guests from the Porch on there.
Say it again?
Might have some guests from the Porch on there. Who knows?
We might have some guests from the Porch that's going to be there.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
I got to pop out. Let's take it back all the way around to the crib, man.
Mm-hmm.
DC, are you a fan of the DMV flow that has been created?
I wouldn't necessarily even label it DMV flow because there's a lot of DMV artists from here that don't use it that's been successful in the industry a little more than that has.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily label that one thing. I think everything should have its own. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like we too broad with our stuff as far as like, look at the Grammys for instance. It's like, it ain't enough hip hop categories for everybody to get a trophy because they putting us all in one thing. So I feel like we just need to identify what's what. I'm a fan of this. I like Crank to Me. So I ain't really got no complaints about it. I don't think that the content is necessarily global at points, but it ain't made for that. Everything ain't made for everybody. So
I feel like I've had this conversation with Light Show, and then I watched the interview with Shy Glizzy was on, I want to say with Academics, bro. And he asked him about like the DMV, and his response was he feels as though everybody is making music for guys 5 blocks away. You get what I'm saying? Like, they just dissing it. And is that like you think something that has to change for DMV or DC in general to move forward within the music industry?
I think a lot of areas are doing that. I don't think that's necessarily just DC or DMV. I think there's a lot of cities all over the country right now that got high tension music, and like what I said earlier, I don't think that's by accident. I feel like that's something that's promoted for them to do. So I don't really think it's more so them doing it just because that's what they want to do, but that looked like a way out. So it's like, I feel like a lot of people revert to it as opposed to try to expand from it because it just looked like that's what worked. And even like you look at Shy, he got on after he was, you know what I'm saying, beefing with Trail. Yeah. So it's like, and to look at where he at and look at his music journey, to see that is like, okay, I got this in mind. You might think that. You might think that's what you got to do because it's a lot of monkey see, monkey do. So.
But I can't say, I disagree with you. I'm going to play devil's advocate with you. I'm going to be honest and give my honest opinion. I ain't going to sit up here and fake the funk.
For sure.
I don't think Shaq or Trail got on from dissing each other. Did they diss each other? Was there beef early on? 100%. But I think that music still stood alone.
For sure. I disagree with that too. I'm not saying he got on just from dissing. I'm just saying that was a big log in the fire.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that got a lot of people talking, a lot more people paying attention. It initiated stuff with Chief Keef or something. Like it started something else. You know what I'm saying? It looked like something that would help you get further. And I feel like a lot of people that's fans of him or like a lot of youngers that came up idolizing him, they look at like, well, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that that's what you got to do, or that was even his main focus, or like that was something he did. He felt that shit in his heart. Got to say it. It wasn't a no business plan. It was just he had to get his shit off. So I don't think that it's necessarily the main thing that got him on, but it was something that definitely put gas on the fire.
Now I don't think you've ever publicly spoke out about this. I did the freestyles about IDK saying the music scene in D.C. and Maryland, Virginia was trash.
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial thought process when watching that clip of him saying that?
I just felt like that was, you know what I'm saying, disregarding a lot of talent that we got going on. I feel like only acknowledging what we talking about right now, just that lane of music as opposed to everything that we got to offer.
But I personally have watched the clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the clip also says, we have talent here. They can't stay out of jail, and we're losing them. Do you think the message that he was trying to put out was kind of misconstrued by that first statement and people not really watching all the way to the second statement?
I seen the second statement too. I ain't really like how that just acknowledged one group of people too. More so than there's a lot of people that ain't getting locked up. A lot of people that ain't dying that's still making waves in the music.
Now,
I think you should acknowledge them because they put in work and, you know what I'm saying, in the field and people love them and they made an impact and they should be acknowledged. But that's not the only thing we got to offer. So you shouldn't just, that's back to why I'm just saying that shouldn't just be called the DMV flow because now everything it's only, if it ain't that, it ain't DMV now. So that's my issue with that kind of. So I feel like when you say that, you kind of belittle everything else.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I'm going to disagree with you, who do you kind of see as our top artists right now?
I feel like Wale, Gold Link, Rico Nasty, IDK. I would say how many of them got a record that sound like that?
None of them.
How many of them been locked up?
None of them.
How many of them dead?
None of them.
How many of them got number ones?
Okay.
Platinum records. Good Logic. How many, these are the biggest artists. So to just not acknowledge that is kind of misguiding to see that you got to do this, to say that you got to this, to say that you got to rap like this, to say that it's a bunch of shit.
All right. Now, I'm really from D.C. You really from D.C. We'll say stuff like that, right? But in the same breath be like, man, they ain't from D.C. They not a representation of us. What we want to represent when we go in these meetings, we want to represent when Say Cheese do the what artists from what city things. We don't want these artists to represent us because they ain't come from our struggle.
Say Cheese only acknowledges a certain type of artist. So I'm looking at it like we just limited ourselves to certain platforms.
But I'm talking about us as I'm talking about DC as a whole. If they say Wale is the face of DC, it's gonna be an uproar. He's not the face of DC. He's not from DC. But I hate that so much, bro, because I feel like
if you look at it musically, music-wise, hit-wise,
he is.
Record-wise, diamond record-wise, shit like that, it ain't about who you think is the face. The face, you can't see the face when the body. You see everything else. Everybody
100%.
else is looking over here. If they see Wale got the biggest record, Wale the biggest artist. They see Shy got the biggest records, he got the most motion, Shy the biggest artist. They see Trail came home getting love, Trail the biggest. It go like that. If they see Ant on the internet doing it, he's one of the biggest, whatever you want to label him as. He's one of the biggest of that. So I just think people pay attention to what they want to pay attention to and acknowledge what they want to acknowledge. But I feel like it's a lot of shit out here for us to be acknowledging that we ain't. And that was pretty much my issue with it. And more so, I look at it like a music thing. It wasn't necessarily, no hate on no shit like that.
Sure.
My thing is, if you say, ain't no music here, let's do some music. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it fun a little bit.
One thing I will respect is, you even said IDK was one of the top artists of men. So you got to respect that. You being honest. You're not speaking from a biased place. You saying his name, he one of the top artists here. When I kind of hear people say top artists, they disregard those people because of, again, what we just said, not being from the same struggle you and I come from. When I ask people who the top 10 artists is, you hear the Giz Wops, No Savages, Chaw,
for sure,
KP.
And there's a lot of them, but
and
it's like that. It's all hip hop though. But I feel like it's a certain line that's done. I feel like that's where nigga like me kind of like I grew up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm inspired by, you know what I'm saying, the shit that's the greatest, the shit that's platinum, like the shit that's classic hip hop albums, classic R&B albums, classic shit. Like, so it's like, all right, I'm in the middle. So I fuck with all that and I fuck with all this. Why is it separated? Why, like, I ain't separating it. Why is it separated everywhere else?
I think that the younger artists in the city separated because of the look that they are trying to give our city. I think that's the part that a lot of people want to disregard. These artists, 5 artists you named, Logic, Wale, IDK, Rico Nasty.
When we go R&B, we got Ari Lennox. We don't even
Ari
acknowledge.
Lennox.
We saying music. We talking about music. We talking about everybody.
We don't want to group them and say, oh, they are representation of our city because it don't look like shirt off, Chief Keef in the middle of somebody, you know what I'm saying, living room.
I'm saying, so where Chief Keef from? He from Chicago.
Chicago.
Why we want to look like that?
I don't know.
We want to look like you supposed to look like you at the end of the day. I feel like it shouldn't even be no chase or no look. You supposed to just, however you feel, man, that's what you look like. You know what I'm saying? However you do, that's what you do. I just feel like it's a lot more group thinkers than it should be.
I'm kind of swayed on, I'm in the middle with this debate, honestly.
Mm.
I'm in the middle of it because I hate that some of our most talented young artists fall in these traps and don't understand that these other artists.
Who's setting the traps?
Them too. They setting their own traps if you want to be technical.
No, I'm not saying they setting the traps. I'm just saying it's a trap.
Yeah.
It's called trap music for a reason.
I get where you're going there. And that was deeper than what I paused. That was deeper than what I thought at first. But you're 100% right. I gotta give you that. You're 100% right. I like both stances on the conversation. I think that the younger artists have to learn, bro, that just because this person ain't grew up from your trap don't mean that he ain't trying to help you.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to learn. Ain't nobody teach you. I feel like the blessing I got was that I was raised around some good men that, you know what I'm saying, had their head on their shoulders, knew what was going on in the street shit, but wasn't forcing the street shit on nobody else. If you had to deal with this, you know what I'm saying, product of your environment. But good dudes take care of their families and make sure that I was focused on what I'm supposed to be focused on, making sure I ain't had to do that. So I feel like everybody ain't got that. So I look at that like that's something I was blessed and lucky to have and super appreciative of. But I feel like that's kind of one of the main catalysts in the next generation, knowing what to do and what not to do. It's easy to say somebody don't listen, but it's like, at what point do you stop talking? You know what I'm saying? When do you all right, they don't listen. I ain't gonna say nothing. And then you gonna die with that information? And now nobody got it.
And that's one thing I do. I've said this. A lot of those people who have moved on, that's kind of up there, the information is not matriculating down to the younger guys. And if it is matriculating down to the young guys, we have to figure out a way for them to internalize it. You get what I'm saying? Because they got it. Wale, Shy, Logic, Rico Nasty, what's the guy that date the tennis girl? I can't think of his name. Corday. Bro, they got it, bro. They got it. It's no reason why Noochie shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they work, and if you look at it, they work with the artists that people try to separate them from too. That's why I also don't understand why it's a separation. Like these artists, if you look at Brent Faiyaz's project, he got Cruddy Murder on it. You wouldn't even, like, that's not something you expecting. So it's like, this is a potential Grammy nominated album that you just put, you know what I'm saying, somebody that would be in the DMV top 10, like shit like that. So I'm like, you just bringing worlds together. So I'm like, that's where it mixes at on a record that's probably produced by Timbaland. Right. So now he got a good look. Everybody got good looks around. So it's like, you kind of got to, when a nigga get on, you got to show the motherfucker. That's kind of how it is. If niggas ain't had OGs outside, at least when they get in the music world, like, nigga come be an OG in that world when you see a motherfucker getting on so you can know what's up. Like, this shit dirty. It's a dirty game for real. So, and niggas done been through it already. And some niggas done been through it so much they don't want to talk about it no more. But some niggas done been through it enough, they want to make sure don't nobody else go through it. So it's like,
we need more of that.
Yeah. So
we need more of that. Young Thug said in an interview, he expect Jay-Z to teach him to be a billionaire because he know how to be a billionaire. You can't die with the knowledge. I feel like we're the only race of people that feel like if we give you the keys, we gonna lose our steam.
And then Jay-Z the type of nigga that when you say that, be like, man, listen to the album. I done said it every album. All you gotta do is listen to it, because now that's why, how you even get in this position without speaking into existence? Everybody that died and shit from music most of the time or got killed, a lot of times it should be hard to listen to their music after they gone, because they talking about it in the song a lot. Yeah. Tupac, Nip, like, that should be hard to listen to it, because it's like, damn, like, motherfucker's so promising, but speaking that, sometimes it could. And it's the reality, too, so it ain't like you just making this shit up. It's like, I see it every day. Yeah. So, like, I know it's a possibility. But a nigga like Jay, then said all this game giving shit, and then you see this motherfucking billionaire, wife billionaire, motherfucking daughter probably gonna be billionaire, kids gonna be a billionaire. Yeah. But it's like, you done gave the game back. You know, it might not be the dinner and the conversation, but it's everywhere.
Yeah. Now, I seen somewhere on, I think it was your Instagram, and your caption was, by the time people show you love, they don't even want it, and by the time people show me love, I ain't even want it. Can you elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a Freddie Gibbs line. He said, by the time people show you love, you don't need one, and by the time people show me love, you ain't need it. But by the time they showed me love, I was on the TV. That's the next line. Oh, yeah. So, like, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you've been trying so long that, you know what I'm saying, get noticed or feel like what you doing is like, this place make you forget who you is sometimes. So it's like, you do got to go out to, you know what I'm saying, to even understand if like what you doing making an impact sometimes.
Cause I just seen you on BET Jams, your music videos on BET Jams. I'm like, this nigga from here. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
And I'm happy to see, you know what I'm saying, where you are now.
For sure.
Even better.
I just feel like pretty much the statement is that like a lot of people had the opportunity to do, you know what I'm saying, be a part of it when it was in the come up, and then they don't want to be part of it till it's on TV. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I said a tweet that you said, you can't wait to see the DMV list now. Do you think that the bloggers and the people who make those lists respect Noochie now way more than they respect you when they made that top 50 list?
Hey, man, I don't care, to be honest. I be saying stuff to be joking. I don't really care about no list. I go outside. The people love me. Yeah. I can't go nowhere without getting love. I go somewhere by myself. I feel like there's family in the room wherever I go around the city. Like, I don't care where I'm at. So I don't really give two shits about no list. And most of them lists is made by one person. So it's usually biased anyway. Or a group of biased people swayed by biased people. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
I agree with you.
Show me the list in like 10 years. Show me that list. That's the list I want to see.
If they made it this year, where Noochie at now? He ain't where he was.
I don't know where he at. I ain't even really looking at me as the artist right now, 100%. I've been on my executive producer shit.
That's what it is.
Slash artist right now, executive producer, director, creator, all that shit. But I said, no Black Friday. Yeah. Black Friday got a project coming out.
I was going to ask you, so we got some new music on the way?
Nah, for sure, the music, because now they paying attention now. You know what I'm saying? Because now they can look. Now it's a little different now. This what I look at it like this. You could pay for promotion, or you could do some shit that make them come see it. So I felt like I'd rather go the long route. And now I feel like, all right, let's play ball. I want to play music game. I like music. That's what I'm here for. That's why the platform is where it's at, about the music at the end of the day.
Because technically, it's kind of like a rollout now.
No, 100%.
You get what I'm saying? Like, boom, I'm going to do the front porch freestyles. I'm going to get this person. And then now, I got 100,000 people on my page, got 1 million people on my page. When let's drop this project. Now you see, for sure. I'm here. I'm in the door.
And then you see it's as much quality as that is. Because, like, why would they be coming? Why would Kenny Lattimore be coming somewhere that ain't professional? Exactly. That ain't no music quality. Why would Raheem Devon? Forget all the family, you know what I'm saying, you know him and stuff like that. And there's other artists that done been in already that's like classic acts. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's about to be, it's really turned into something crazy. But they wouldn't be coming here unless they seen what was going on musically.
Now, I wanted to say this before we leave, as we come into like close the interview. You started the year off in a newspaper on the Washington Post. A lot of people don't make the Washington Post unless you die.
Mm-hmm.
You made the Washington Post for doing something positive, which was not being a typical trap rapper, man. How did that feel when you? I don't know. Did they tell you they was gonna put you in the newspaper? Or?
I want to say they did. I don't remember, but it's just all. I remember the Washington Post was like I felt like it just took too long for me to get in it. I was like, dang, what I gotta do? What I gotta do? And I see everybody else in the newspaper. I'm like, man, I'm working my ass off. I can't get in. This, you know what I'm saying? I just be feeling like you need to be acknowledged by the home, because I don't want to move. Like you said, I don't want to move unless home fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? You need home to fuck with you first before you just be running around talking about this, where you from. Then they ask about you. Like, I don't fuck with that nigga. Like, now it's different. So I felt like once I seen like even the news and calling Channel 9 and Fox 5 and all these Johnson call me, Shade Room, all these people showing love, Snoop posting it, Common, Pusha T, like Wale reposting it, Yebba. Like, it's all type of people that's doing it. And Raphael Sadiq reposted the Backyard jump to him singing his jump. So I'm like, it's just all these moments that I'm like, all right, I want to create the moments that people just happy to see right now. So it's like, I'm thoroughly happy that the city is acknowledging it for that, because that's back to the representation. I want people to see that and see that's some shit they proud that to say, man, you know they do that shit in DC, right? Like, that's all I want at the end of the day from them.
Now, can we expect some new guests on the front porch coming soon?
Oh no, for sure. We got some classic acts. We got some current acts.
Okay.
We got some big acts. We got some international acts. We got some we got some comedy.
Let me put a little pressure on you now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we got some young artists coming on there.
For sure. Definitely got young artists. We got DMV flow artists.
Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want to hear. Because we talking all this, and you got the platform. You got the platform now.
But I'm also curating. I'm also curating. So I'm like, if I was DJing with John, because I DJ too. So it's like, all right, what John I'm gonna play? If I'm DJing, because I did young parties where I'm doing like some kids might be 16 right now, and like little private jump, and that's all they want to hear. So I'm like, I'm listening to, I know the song. I'm getting requested. The people that listening to it the most telling me what songs if they want to hear. So I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'm listening to it. Oh, this crank. All right, bet. Hey, I can hit this with a bang. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to it like that. That's what I'm listening to every day when I'm listening to it. Cause I ain't necessarily looking like to be no outlet or you know what I'm saying, the platform or the jump. I was trying to be seen and heard on my own. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that it didn't become that. But it's like, I'm just looking at it like I'm curating. Like, don't be, you know what I'm saying, blowing down my neck now when y'all could have been working with it. I want a young
artist with the DMV flow, or it don't even got to be DMV flow, because I personally not really that big of a fan of DMV flow personally. I want a younger artist who we see that the young people are banging with and rocking behind.
For sure. I mean, you gotta look at it like this too. You gotta build it so they come. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if we getting classic acts first and establishing this, you know what I'm saying, platform to be a million subscription page or some shit like that, then now when you come and people don't really know it like that, it's only a local jump. Now you got people outside of it as well as the people that's in it coming. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, build it up so they come and we, you know what I'm saying, they ain't got no choice but to fuck with you. Yeah. Shit like that. That's my goal at the end of the day. So for them artists that I'm trying to help get, you know, notoriety, because at the end of the day, I'm an artist trying to get notoriety. At the end of the day, when it ain't no guest, nigga, it's me cranking on that jump. That's every week. You know what I'm saying?
Man, God might be pushing you in a executive producer role.
Oh no, I mean, he already did. You know what I'm saying? I done worked on a bunch of films and productions and shit too. Like in another, if you check some movie credits and shit, you see my name in there. I'm in some Denzel movies, some Apple TV productions, some, you know what I'm saying, HBO.
Right? Tubies, right? You ain't been on Tubi?
I ain't been on Tubi. I got some BETs.
Tubies with the trap music.
They got some good Tubies.
I ain't seen that one. Motherfucker got a hat on in one clip, the next clip.
Nah, they got a joint with Damon Wayans called Cinnamon. Okay, that joint is good. It's like an original, like a Netflix original. Like they really thought about this movie and they accepted. It's a good movie.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming up, driving up 95, man. Where can they follow you at?
Oh man, Noochie Music on all platforms. You could just type in Front Porch or whatever. Go to YouTube. Check out Live from the Front Porch. We got some of your favorite artists. We got Raheem on there right now, Raheem Devon, Kenny Lattimore, Backyard Band, some of the Go-Go Classics, Miss Kim, New Impressions. We got TJ coming up soon. We got a lot of people coming up, so I don't even want to disclose it. I just want people to see it.
Real quick, is New Impressions in your top 5 Go-Go bands?
For sure.
I'm out of here. I disagree with that totally.
What?
100%. Man,
you gotta think about when you born, bro.
I was born, bro, when I was having this conversation before we leave with one of my guys the other day on the game. When I was going to the DC Stars, the La Pearl, the CFEs, New Impressions wasn't having 2 sets. New Impressions wasn't.
Talking about back in the day. They got,
okay.
That's what they doing now.
I was going to say, now we're talking now, I think that New Impressions has taken over the go-go game. But from what remember growing up,
that's how
I was going to see
T.O.B.,
TCB, Backyard, Reaction, and then XIB when Spaceman was the lead mic.
Somebody could say, you remember 10 years ago, that nigga wasn't doing no porch shit. He was just outside. He wasn't even that nigga yet. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you got to grow to become that. I feel like New Impressions, if you even look at my page, like New Impressions did the most numbers on Instagram.
That's true.
I was like, they did like 600,000 in like 2 days.
That's honestly true.
That niggas was cracking. But yeah, I feel like everybody, I feel like my goal is just to make sure everybody look like they the best when they come up there. So when EU come and do the butt on that motherfucker, it sound like they the best.
I beat it.
When Junkyard come do sardines, it sound like they the best.
I need 911, man. I don't know what 911 doing, but I need 911 band on there.
Hey, man, listen.
One of my personal favorites, man.
About curation, man. Curation, preparation,
I appreciate
presentation.
You coming down, bro.
For sure, brother.
Make sure you tap in my guy Noochie, man. Project dropping real soon.
For sure.
Get out of here.
Oh, man, free booty.